Gentlemen, let me start with something most men over 60 won't say out loud, but every one of you has felt. That quiet moment in the morning when you realize the strength that once greeted you without effort is gone. No warning, no goodbye, just silence. You start wondering if it's over, if that part of your manhood has simply retired for good. But here's the truth that will shock you. It hasn't. Your body still remembers how to perform. It's just waiting for you to send the right signal. And tonight, I'll show you how to do that in less than 60 seconds. I'm Dr. Mohit Khera, a urologist and men's health specialist with over 30 years of experience helping men rebuild strength, confidence, and vitality, naturally. I've seen men in their 70s and even 80s regain the power they thought was lost forever, without pills or devices, simply by understanding how their bodies really work. Here's the paradox that surprises nearly every patient I meet. Your best mornings aren't built in the moment, they're built while you sleep. And the secret to waking up strong again isn't a supplement or workout. It's something you can find right now in your kitchen, something so simple you'll wonder why no one told you sooner. Because if you stay with me, I'll show you exactly what to do 30 minutes before bed to restore your body's natural rhythm and wake up powerful again, calmly, confidently, and without chemicals. In just a moment, I'll reveal what it is, why it works, and how thousands of men over 60 are using this nightly ritual to bring back the mornings they thought were gone forever. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell, so you never miss another science-based tip to help men over 60 regain their strength and confidence. And I'd love to hear from you. If this message speaks to you, type 1 in the comments. If you're still unsure, type 0 and tell me what's holding you back so I can create videos that truly help you. Now that you're here and ready, let's dive into what really happens inside a man's body after 60. Why those once effortless mornings begin to fade, and how one small nightly change can quietly restore the very foundation of strength, circulation, and masculine confidence you thought was gone. 1. Why mornings fade after 60. When I sit across from men in their 60s, I can see it in their eyes before they even say a word. That quiet frustration, that question they don't want to ask out loud, what happened to me? They remember the mornings when strength came naturally, when their body responded instantly, and when intimacy wasn't something they had to plan or worry about. But now, they wake up and feel nothing, and they start to wonder if that part of them has vanished for good. The truth is, it hasn't disappeared. It's just been neglected. After 60, your body begins to change in small, silent ways that most men never notice until the results show up where it matters most. The arteries that once opened easily begin to stiffen. The inner lining, called the endothelium, stops releasing enough nitric oxide, the molecule that allows your blood vessels to relax and fill properly. Without that, the plumbing simply doesn't respond the way it used to. At the same time, your testosterone rhythm begins to flatten. You still produce it, but not with the same force or timing. Stress, poor sleep, and late-night habits steal the surge that used to happen during deep sleep. And when testosterone dips, the entire system, from your mood to your muscles to your performance, starts to dull. Add to that years of sitting, long workdays, medications, or even high blood sugar, and the nerve signals that once triggered an instant response now arrive slower, weaker, or sometimes not at all. I've had patients look at me and say, "Doc, I feel like my body's forgotten how to be a man." And I tell them the same thing I'll tell you. It hasn't forgotten. It just needs to be reminded. Your body is built to repair itself every night, but after years of neglect, it's like a machine that hasn't been oiled in too long. The good news is, it can be restarted. That's where the secret comes in. A natural, 1-minute, nightly ritual that taps into your body's deepest repair cycle, rebuilding circulation and restoring the rhythm that drives testosterone. It doesn't take a prescription, a device, or a drastic change. Just one small action before bed that reawakens everything time has quietly slowed down. And in the next part, I'll show you exactly what that is and why it works so powerfully while you sleep. 2. The 60-second spice that reignites it. I'll never forget the first time I shared this secret with one of my patients. He was 68, a quiet man who had spent his life fixing engines. "Doc," he told me, "machines I can repair. But this," he looked down and shook his head, "I don't even know where to start." I smiled and said, "Then let's start small. Smaller than you can imagine." You see, buried in almost every kitchen cabinet is one of nature's most overlooked gifts for male vitality, a single dried clove. It doesn't look like much. It's small, brown, hard, and ordinary, but inside that tiny bud lies an oil called eugenol, and it has the power to do what many expensive treatments try and fail to achieve. Eugenol is a natural compound that relaxes the smooth muscle in your blood vessels, allowing them to open wider. It reduces the hidden inflammation that clogs your circulation, and it boosts nitric oxide, the messenger that tells your arteries to send blood exactly where it needs to go. When I explain this to men, they usually laugh. "You mean something I can buy for $1 can help me more than all these pills?" I nod, because I've seen it work time and time again. The key isn't in swallowing it or brewing it in tea, it's in how you use it. Place one whole clove between your gum and your cheek for just 60 seconds before bed. Don't chew it yet, just let it rest there and soften. Within moments, you'll feel a warm, spicy flavor spreading through your mouth. That's the eugenol oil releasing. It's absorbed directly through your mucous membranes, entering your bloodstream almost instantly. No digestion, no delay. As you lie down later that night, that same oil quietly begins its work, opening vessels, calming nerves, and preparing your body for the deep sleep where real repair happens. That's why I tell my patients, this ritual isn't about quick pleasure. It's about restoring the foundation so your body can do what it was always meant to do. It's gentle, private, and surprisingly powerful. And maybe what I love most about it is what it represents. It's proof that strength doesn't always come from force or medicine. Sometimes it comes from patience, consistency, and trust in your own biology. Because when you combine this 1-minute ritual with the right timing, when you align it with your body's natural nightly rhythm, the effects multiply in ways most men never expect. And that's exactly what I'll explain next. Why timing isn't just important, it's everything. 3. Why timing matters, the night cycle. Over the years, I've learned that most men focus on what happens in the moment, not what happens in the hours before it. They come into my office saying, "Doc, I've tried taking things in the morning, before intimacy, even before workouts, nothing lasts." And every time, I tell them the same thing. The secret doesn't lie in what you do when the sun is up. It lies in what your body does when it's dark and quiet. That's when your system is rebuilding the machinery of manhood. Your body runs on rhythm. Every cell, every hormone, every pulse of blood follows a schedule written into your biology. Around midnight, while you sleep, your brain releases luteinizing hormone, the signal that tells your body to make testosterone. It's also when your blood vessels repair, your nitric oxide levels reset, and your nervous system finally leaves the stress state it's been trapped in all day. This is why I always tell my patients, erections are not built during passion, they're built during peace. When you use the clove ritual 30 minutes before bed, you're not just giving your body a supplement, you're giving it a cue. As the eugenol enters your bloodstream, it relaxes your blood vessels and calms your nervous system. That combination tells your body, it's safe to rest, it's time to rebuild. The deeper you sleep, the stronger your testosterone pulse becomes. The stronger that pulse, the more responsive your circulation will be in the morning. It's like charging your phone overnight. You don't wait until the battery's dead. You plug it in so it's ready when you wake. I remember one of my patients, Patrick, a 70-year-old truck driver who hadn't slept through the night in years. I asked him to use one clove before bed and take 10 minutes to breathe slowly in the dark. 2 weeks later, he came back, looked me in the eye and said, "Doc, I slept 6 hours straight for the first time in a decade, and I woke up feeling alive." That's not magic. That's his body finally getting the chance to repair itself. Timing is everything. The same habit, done at the wrong hour, can fall flat. But done before bed, it works in harmony with your body's natural rhythm, multiplying its power. And when that rhythm returns, the change doesn't stop at performance. You begin to feel it in every part of your life. In the next section, I'll show you how to perform this nightly ritual correctly, step by step, so you can unlock the full potential of what your body is still capable of. 4. The ritual, how to do it right. When I teach this method, I tell men to think of it as a small act of self-respect, not another task on a list. You don't need to carve out an hour or follow a complicated plan. All it takes is one quiet minute before bed, but done correctly, it can change everything. This is how you turn that simple clove into something that wakes your body up again. Start with one whole dried clove, not the powdered kind, not the capsule. The real, hard little bud you'd find in your kitchen spice rack. About 30 minutes before bed, rinse your mouth and place that clove gently between your gum and your cheek. Either side works. Don't chew it yet. Just let it rest there as you breathe slowly. Within half a minute, you'll taste the warm, sharp spice spreading across your tongue. That's the eugenol, the powerful oil inside the clove, being released and absorbed directly through your mouth's soft tissue. What happens next is quiet, but important. The oil enters your bloodstream almost immediately. It starts to relax the smooth muscle in your blood vessels, allowing them to open just a little wider. It calms inflammation that's been building silently for years, the same kind that chokes off circulation where you need it most. As the body begins to shift into rest mode, the eugenol works alongside it, lowering stress hormones, easing the nervous system, and setting the stage for deeper, uninterrupted sleep. When you finally lay your head on the pillow, your body is already preparing for repair. Blood flow improves, testosterone production strengthens, and your system finally gets the signal it's been waiting for. Rebuild. Over the next few nights, you'll start to notice subtle changes: calmer sleep, lighter mornings, maybe even the first signs of firmness returning without effort. If your gums are sensitive, start slow, 30 seconds the first night, a full minute the next. This isn't about pushing harder, it's about staying consistent. The more nights you repeat it, the stronger your results become. Think of it as training your body to remember its natural rhythm again. But there's something even more powerful that happens once this routine becomes part of your evening. Something that goes far beyond blood flow or performance. It changes how you sleep, how you recover, and even how your hormones communicate. And in the next section, I'll explain exactly why this simple ritual transforms not just your nights, but the entire way your body heals itself from the inside out. 5. The science of timing, why nighttime works best. If there's one thing I've learned after 3 decades of treating men over 60, it's that timing isn't just important, it's everything. You can have the right foods, the right supplements, and the right habits, but if you apply them at the wrong time, your body won't respond the way it should. That's why the clove method works best when used before bed. It isn't magic, it's biology working on schedule. You see, your body runs on a precise internal clock known as the circadian rhythm. It's what tells your brain when to sleep, your heart when to slow down, and your hormones when to rise. Most men don't realize that testosterone, nitric oxide, and growth hormone, the 3 pillars of male performance, all peak during deep sleep. That's when your arteries repair microscopic damage, your blood vessels restore elasticity, and your testosterone surges naturally. But if you're awake too late, checking your phone, having a drink, or eating a heavy meal, you interrupt that entire sequence. You rob your body of its nightly restoration. When you use the clove ritual 30 minutes before bed, you're giving your system a signal at the perfect moment, right before the repair process begins. The eugenol oil starts to relax your vascular walls and calm your nervous system just as your body begins to wind down. It lowers cortisol, the stress hormone that blocks testosterone, and enhances nitric oxide release right as your brain transitions into deep sleep. It's like priming an engine before it runs, a small adjustment that allows every other process to work better. I remember one of my patients, a retired truck driver named Patrick, who had been struggling with restless nights and flat mornings for years. He told me he couldn't remember the last time he'd slept through the night. When I taught him this timing, everything changed. 2 weeks later, he came back with a smile I hadn't seen before. "Doc," he said, "I didn't change my diet, I didn't take any pills, but I sleep like a rock now, and the mornings, well, they're back." That's not coincidence. That's his body finally working with the rhythm it was designed for. So if you've ever wondered why mornings feel weaker with age, it's not just about lost strength, it's about disrupted timing. And once you realign that clock, your body responds faster than you'd believe. But here's where it gets truly exciting. What starts as a nightly ritual for performance becomes something far greater, a full-body restoration that touches your mood, your energy, and even how young you feel each day. In the next section, you'll see exactly how this one-minute habit begins transforming every part of your health from the inside out. 6. The transformation. What happens after 7, 14, and 30 days? When men start this nightly ritual, they often ask me, "Doc, how long before I notice something?" And I always tell them the same thing. Real restoration doesn't happen overnight, but when it starts, you'll know. The change isn't loud or dramatic at first. It begins quietly, almost imperceptibly, like your body remembering how to work the way it once did. In the first 7 days, most men don't see fireworks. They feel calm. You may notice your body settling before bed, your breathing slowing down, your mind releasing the tension it's carried for years. That's the eugenol oil doing its work, relaxing your nervous system, helping you fall into deeper sleep, and beginning the vascular repair process that has been waiting to happen. Your nights start to feel different, less tossing, fewer interruptions, more genuine rest. And in the morning, something small but meaningful shifts. You wake up lighter, clearer, more grounded. For many men, this is the first sign of hope. By day 14, your system begins to respond more visibly. Blood flow improves as your arteries regain flexibility. Nitric oxide levels rise, and testosterone rhythms start to rebuild. You may notice firmer mornings, steadier energy through the day, and an ease you haven't felt in years. I remember one man, Robert, 74, who said to me, "Doc, I didn't realize how much of myself I'd given up until I started sleeping again." That's what this stage feels like. Not just physical change, but the return of vitality, confidence, and peace of mind. By the 30th day, your body has adapted. This is where transformation settles in. Your hormone balance stabilizes, your blood vessels stay open longer, and your confidence becomes steady instead of sporadic. It's not forced, not chemical, it's natural. Your mornings greet you the way they used to, and your partner notices not just the physical difference, but the emotional one. You stand taller, you smile more, you feel like yourself again. But what's truly remarkable is what happens beyond those 30 days. Each night you stay consistent, your body continues to build on that foundation. Stronger circulation, calmer sleep, steadier energy. It's not about chasing youth, it's about reclaiming balance. And this balance is what keeps a man strong, clear-headed, and confident through the years ahead. Now, if you think that's powerful, wait until you understand what happens when this nightly ritual connects with one more piece of the puzzle, your oral health. Because what's happening in your gums might be silently controlling your blood flow below the belt, and most men never see the link until it's almost too late. Let's talk about that next. 7. The hidden link between your mouth and your manhood. This is the part that surprises almost every man I've ever treated. They come to me thinking their problem is in their hormones or their circulation, and yes, those matter. But what if I told you that the real culprit could be hiding right behind your smile? Your mouth, more specifically your gums, might be quietly sabotaging your blood flow every single night without you realizing it. Here's how it works. The same arteries that supply your gums with blood also feed your heart and your manhood. When your gums become inflamed, whether from plaque, bleeding, or infection, those same inflammatory molecules enter your bloodstream. Once inside, they roughen the lining of your arteries, making them stiff, narrow, and less responsive. It's like corrosion in a pipe. The water still runs, but the pressure weakens. And where that shows up first for most men isn't in the heart, it's in performance. That's why the clove ritual is far more powerful than it seems. When you let that tiny bud rest between your gum and your cheek, the eugenol oil doesn't just relax your blood vessels, it also kills harmful bacteria and soothes inflammation at its source. Night after night, that natural antibacterial action helps your mouth heal while your body rests. Your gums become healthier, your bloodstream cleaner, and your arteries freer to deliver the oxygen-rich flow that defines true vitality. I remember a man named Harold, a retired teacher in his late 60s. He tried everything for his circulation, supplements, pills, even exercise, but the results never lasted. Then, during a checkup, I noticed his gums were inflamed. I suggested the clove method, not just for performance, but for healing. 2 weeks later, he called and said, "Doc, I didn't expect this. My gums stopped bleeding, and I feel stronger in the mornings." That's when I told him what I'll tell you now. Fix your mouth, and you fix your manhood. Every night you use this ritual, you're doing more than supporting erections. You're restoring the very pathways that carry life through your body. Health starts with flow, and flow begins in the smallest vessels, including the ones in your gums. When those are healthy, everything downstream works better, from your heart to your hormones to your confidence. But this story doesn't end here, because once you restore circulation and balance inside your body, there's an even deeper transformation waiting, one that touches how you age, how you think, and even how you love. In the final part, we'll bring it all together and uncover what happens when you make this nightly ritual a lifelong habit that keeps your strength, your passion, and your youth alive from the inside out. 8. The long-term reset. How this ritual rebuilds your entire system. By the time most men reach their 60s, they've been told to simply accept decline as a natural part of aging. But that's not the full story. What I've seen, again and again in my patients, is that the body never truly forgets how to heal. It just needs the right signal to begin. That's exactly what this nightly clove ritual does. It's not a quick fix or a passing trend. It's a long-term reset that reawakens the systems responsible for energy, strength, and confidence from the inside out. When you make this a consistent part of your routine, the effects compound. Each night, as you rest, the eugenol continues to clean your bloodstream, reduce inflammation, and keep your arteries supple. Your nitric oxide pathways stay active, ensuring smooth, consistent blood flow not just to one area, but throughout your body. Over weeks, your cardiovascular health strengthens, your brain receives more oxygen, and your muscles recover faster. You don't just perform better, you feel sharper, lighter, more alive. But what truly stands out is how this habit stabilizes your hormones. Deep, uninterrupted sleep allows your testosterone rhythm to re-establish itself, leading to greater vitality, stronger bones, and better mood control. You'll notice you're not as easily fatigued or irritable. Small frustrations roll off your back more easily. Even your digestion improves as circulation and oxygen delivery normalize. I've had men tell me, "Doc, I started this for performance, but I ended up feeling 10 years younger." That's not an exaggeration. It's what happens when the body starts running clean again. Beyond the physical, there's something emotional that unfolds. Each night you commit to this ritual, you're sending a message to yourself, "I'm not done yet." You're reclaiming the confidence that time and stress tried to steal. It's not about chasing youth. It's about owning vitality, about knowing that you can still wake up strong, steady, and proud of the man staring back in the mirror. And as your body restores, so does your belief in it. Men who stay consistent with this ritual often tell me the benefits only get stronger with time. They sleep deeper, move easier, and feel clearer-headed. It's like watching a fog lift after years of living under it. That's the power of giving your body the right cue. Night after night, it learns to heal again. But if you really want to take this transformation to the next level, there's one final truth you need to hear. It's about the hidden daily habits that quietly sabotage everything you've worked to rebuild, and how changing just one of them can unlock even greater results. Let's uncover that next. 9. The silent saboteurs, habits that block your results. Even the most powerful ritual can't reach its full potential if a few quiet habits are working against you. I've seen countless men over 60 start strong. They follow every step, do the clove ritual nightly, and begin to feel better. But then, they hit a plateau. The reason isn't that the method stopped working, it's that old routines quietly undo the progress while they sleep. These are what I call the silent saboteurs, the small, familiar choices that drain vitality from the inside out. The first is late-night eating. When you eat heavy meals or snacks close to bedtime, Your body redirects blood to your digestive system instead of repair. That means less circulation for hormonal balance and vascular recovery. I tell my patients, give your body at least 3 hours between dinner and sleep. Let your system rest, not digest. It's a small change with a massive payoff in how deeply you sleep and how strong your mornings feel. The second saboteur is alcohol. A glass of wine may seem harmless, but alcohol raises cortisol, the stress hormone, and fragments your sleep cycles. It also interferes with nitric oxide production, the very process the clove ritual enhances. If you're serious about results, skip the drink while you start this habit. Once your system stabilizes, you can enjoy moderation without losing progress. The third is late-night screen exposure. Blue light from phones and TVs suppresses melatonin, delaying deep sleep and reducing the time your body spends rebuilding testosterone. Try turning off screens 30 minutes before bed. Replace that time with quiet breathing, reading, or reflection. Your brain will follow your lead, and you'll fall asleep faster. Finally, stress, especially the kind men carry silently, wreaks havoc on blood flow and hormones. The more you stay in fight or flight mode, the less your body invests in repair. That's why I encourage pairing the clove ritual with deep breathing. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 2, exhale for 6. It's simple, but it retrains your nervous system to relax. Once you remove these saboteurs, the body starts responding with surprising speed. Your energy stabilizes, your confidence strengthens, and the small victories build momentum. It's the difference between paddling upstream and letting the current carry you forward. But here's where everything truly comes together. When you pair this nightly ritual with clean habits and consistency, you unlock something far beyond performance. You ignite a transformation that touches every part of your life. In the final section, I'll show you how to make this new strength last for years, turning one small nightly choice into a legacy of vitality and power. 10. The lasting legacy. Turning a 1-minute ritual into a lifetime of strength. When I look back at the thousands of men I've treated over the years, the ones who truly transformed weren't the ones chasing quick fixes. They were the ones who decided to make a small act of self-respect part of their daily rhythm. That's what this 1-minute ritual really represents. It's not just about a clove or chemistry. It's about showing up for yourself every single night, proving that your best years are still within reach. I've seen men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s who thought their energy, their confidence, and their passion were gone for good. But once they made this tiny ritual non-negotiable, something profound began to happen. Their sleep deepened, their mornings grew stronger. Their partners noticed the difference, not just in performance, but in presence. These men didn't just get their vitality back, they got their spark back, and that spark changed everything, from how they carried themselves to how they lived their days. The truth is, the human body rewards consistency. Every time you perform this ritual, you're reminding your system what balance feels like. You're teaching your arteries to stay flexible, your hormones to stay steady, and your mind to stay calm. Over time, that becomes your new baseline. Your nights become restful, your mornings steady, your heart open, and what starts as a nightly practice becomes a message to yourself. I'm still capable, I'm still strong, I still matter. I remember a man named Raymond, 72, who told me this ritual didn't just restore his performance, it restored his purpose. "Doc," he said, "every time I do it, I feel like I'm investing in my tomorrow." That's the power of consistency. It transforms effort into identity. You're no longer fighting decline, you're choosing renewal. So tonight, when you take that single clove, place it in your mouth, and breathe slowly, understand what you're really doing. You're starting a quiet revolution inside your body, one that rebuilds, restores, and reclaims. This isn't about defying age, it's about aging powerfully on your own terms. And if you think this ritual only affects your nights and mornings, wait until you learn how it influences your heart, brain, and emotional resilience. The deeper connection between circulation, memory, and longevity that most men never hear about. Because what begins with strength often ends with clarity, focus, and an entirely new sense of life. Let's explore that next. 11. the connection between strength, memory, and longevity. Most men begin this journey thinking only about performance, but the truth runs much deeper. What starts as a nightly habit to restore vitality quietly awakens every major system in the body, especially the heart, brain, and mind. When blood flow improves, when oxygen moves freely, and when sleep becomes deep and restorative again, something remarkable happens. Your memory sharpens, your focus steadies, and your energy no longer burns out halfway through the day. This is where true longevity begins. Better circulation doesn't just bring more strength to one part of your body, it nourishes your brain. The same nitric oxide that opens your arteries for better performance also feeds your neurons, helping you think clearer, remember details faster, and feel more emotionally balanced. Many of my patients tell me, "Doc, I started this for my mornings, but it's my mind that feels younger." That's the secret no one talks about. Strong blood flow means a strong brain. The same system that fuels intimacy also fuels intelligence, creativity, and calm. And then there's sleep, the most underestimated medicine of all. When your body sleeps deeply, your brain detoxifies. It clears away inflammation, resets hormones, and strengthens neural connections. That's why so many men report not just physical improvement, but mental clarity they haven't felt in years. It's as if the fog finally lifts, revealing a sharper, steadier version of themselves that had been buried under stress and exhaustion. One of my oldest patients, 81-year-old Thomas, once told me, "Doc, I started this clove thing because I wanted to feel like a man again. But what surprised me most wasn't what happened in the mornings. It was how my mind woke up. I read again. I dream again." That's the power of restoring circulation and calm at the same time. You're not just living longer, you're living brighter. This is why I say the clove ritual isn't just a performance enhancer, it's a longevity habit. It brings back clarity, energy, and passion, the three cornerstones of a fulfilling life after 60. It reconnects the body and the mind in a way most men forget is possible. But now that you understand the science and the transformation, it's time to bring it home, to remind yourself why this journey matters. In the final part, I'll share the closing message I give every patient, the truth about aging powerfully, staying consistent, and choosing strength over surrender every single night. 12. The final word, your strength begins tonight. Gentlemen, if you take one thing from everything we've talked about, let it be this. Your body still remembers how to heal. It never forgot. It's just been waiting for you to give it the right signal. This 1-minute nightly ritual with a single clove is more than a health trick. It's a promise to yourself. You're telling your body, your heart, and your spirit that you're not finished, that strength, confidence, and vitality still belong to you. Over these past sections, you've learned why mornings fade, how circulation declines, and how sleep and hormones quietly shape your energy. You've discovered how a small act, done with intention, can restore balance, clarity, and power in ways no pill ever could. I've seen men rise again through this ritual, not because of magic, but because of consistency. So tonight, when the world quiets down, take that one clove, place it gently in your mouth, and breathe deeply. Let the warmth remind you that renewal is still possible. Your best mornings aren't behind you, they're waiting just ahead. Start tonight, stay consistent, and let your body show you what it's still capable of becoming.